Welcome to Daily Life Connection. As we continue to explore the words, the ways, and the works of God, and what that reveals about Him, His character, who He is, who He really is, it's so important that we learn who God really is. Jesus said it in the New Testament, it's recorded, Jesus said, "No one has really known my Father." No one. No one. I'm the only one who really knows Him, and I want to reveal who He is to you. Jesus considered that of supreme importance, that we understand who His Father really is. So as we explore together these days, we are fulfilling Jesus' wish, His desire, that we know the Father more and more. You know, one of the most common phrases in the whole Bible is God our Savior. God our Savior. The God who saves. The God who saves us. Over and over, the prayers of the Old Testament were God save us. God save us. I just want to think a little bit about today, about that whole idea of God our Savior. What's He save us from? What's He save us from? I really think the bottom line is this. He saves us from our self-centeredness. Self-centeredness is probably the most hideous force, if you will, in the universe. It is behind so much, if not all, the problems we encounter. Self-centeredness destroys relationships. It destroys communities. It destroys churches. It destroys nations. Our self-centeredness is destroying our planet, for goodness sake. We want what we want, regardless of who it hurts or what damage it does. That self-centeredness that is so innate in our human sinfulness, our human nature, that old nature of me first. It's all about me. I want it. You know, it seems today that in our world, and maybe it's just because I'm getting old, but it seems to me like self-centeredness has never been so rampant. It seems to me that everywhere, whether it's, the person that cuts in front of you at the supermarket, they cut in the lineup, or cut you off in traffic. That's self-centeredness. I'm more important than you. I want what I want, and it doesn't matter if it conveniences you to, you owe me. You owe me this, and it becomes about, there's not, other people, community, those things aren't our focus. It's me. What can I get out of this? The great consumer mentality. We see it even in churches. I'm going to go to a church that meets my needs, that I like the best, and so on. And it's all self-centeredness, isn't it? It's just so foundational to who we are. But we need to be saved from it. We need to be delivered from that. We somehow need to change and become other-focused, community-focused, relationship-focused, living for the good of others. I mean, that's really the basic definition of love, isn't it? In the biblical word, agape, the word that's used in the New Testament for love, it really means acting in the other person's best interest, no matter what. That's the total opposite of self-centeredness. That's what God saves us from and saves us to. He saves us from self-centeredness and saves us to loving other-centeredness. Other-centeredness. Over and over again, Paul in the New Testament talks about set aside your desires, in honor, prefer one another, defer to one another, bear one another's burdens. He constantly is showing us the picture when God's redeeming, saving power is active in our lives and in our church communities, that it becomes, this is what it looks like. It looks like people honoring each other and preferring each other and yielding to each other and bearing with one another. Because it's all other-focused, isn't it? God our Savior, the God who saves us from our destructive self-centeredness that's in us. Oh, God, help us. God, save us. Save us from ourselves. Save us from ourselves. He has the power to do it. He has the desire to do it. And He has the authority to do it. Well, He does, but unless we give Him that authority, I don't think we really experience it. So I just encourage you today, take a moment and just say, Father, I give you authority to save me from myself. But the reality is, we think like, yeah, that's great, but I don't think it's so easy to give up our self-centeredness, to want to be first, to want others to serve us, to be the number one, to have our ego stroked. Not easy to give that up, is it? But Father, save us from that. Because I really believe life becomes thin and profane when that becomes our focus. The more we become others focused, the more we become content with who we are as we are, knowing we're loved by God. There's how He saves us, isn't it? He saves us by loving us, by giving us value and dignity and sharing His glory with us, so that we don't need all those external evidences and signs of importance. He saves us from that. And all of a sudden our lives have become richer, more enjoyable, and more significant. God who saves us. God, our Savior. Let's think about that today. We'll talk again tomorrow.